Are cinema audiences the same as YouTube audiences? Well, yes and no, and this is a pretty fun topic to really explore as filmmakers.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why we're exploring this one, so I'm interested to know, how does this help our audience? Like, why do they need to know the difference between a cinema audience and a YouTube audience?
Well, I think that there's very different reasons why people go to the cinema versus why people watch YouTube as just a really, from a starting point. So when you're starting to think about what kind of content you want to produce, and when we're saying cinema audiences, also thinking about video on demand platforms, Netflix, all of the different platforms where you can watch films. So I guess film audiences, how a film audience is different to a YouTube audience. And I think primarily it's the reason people watch that kind of content.
Okay, I get it now. So it's really about matching your platform with the expectations of your audience. So even though your audience might be going to the theatre and watching a film at the theatre, and also the same person might be watching a lot of content on YouTube, their expectation about what they're going to get out of that platform is going to be different. And that is absolutely critical for you to know, don't you think?
Yeah, so when you go to watch a film, you're going to be immersed in it for anywhere up to 2 hours, or maybe even longer than that. And, the lights go dim, or you're sitting on your couch and you're really relaxed, and you're really going into that for, you're going to be there for a couple of hours to really consume that content. Yep. Whereas when you go to YouTube, you could click away after 30 seconds. You've got a specific reason, you're trying to answer a question, there's a topic that you want to explore, or you're following a particular YouTuber that you really, like the product that they produce, so you're going back for more. But you're not really planning to be there necessarily for more than 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, right. And this is a common problem that we do see when people don't really understand the expectations and just go and try and make something for the sake of making it, not really understanding whether that's a match for their audience and what they're looking for on a particular platform. So as you say, cinema is really an escapism platform. You go there to forget about everything else and get swept away in that cinematic world.
So there's really three main reasons people go to YouTube.
Yeah, there are, so mainly it's about getting how-to information. How do I do this thing? So they're going to be informed. And yeah, there is a part of YouTube that's about entertainment as well, but it's a different style of entertainment, I would argue, than going to the cinema. And this is according to Google Playbook for Brands. So there's three main categories of content on YouTube. So you've got how-tos, you've got information, and you've got entertainment. But the type of entertainment that you get on YouTube, I would say, is different to the type of entertainment that is getting served up in cinema, because the audience expectation is different. So YouTube is getting consumed in very different places to the cinema, which is a much more dedicated, captive audience, I think, to how the YouTube audience base is looking at your content.
Yeah, and I would also say when people go to the cinema or watch a movie, should we say, watching a film, it's because they're going for genre. They might want action, they might want comedy, they might want romantic comedy, they might want animation. They're very genre based, and it also could be that their favourite actor is in that film and they're going specifically because they want to see that actor, or perhaps it's even a director that they really admire, and so they're wanting to see the film because they want to see that director's work. So the motivations right there for why people are going to the cinema are really different to why people might watch content on YouTube.
Yeah, so Big Guy, why do you think people watch content on YouTube?
Because they're watching Moonshine Moonshot Series 2 to hear what the VO guy is going to say.
Of course it's for the voiceovers and narration. Of course it is. Can't believe we didn't mention that already.
Yeah, I think they go to YouTube to get their questions answered or to kill time. So these are really different motivations. So they might be wanting to learn about something, that's the information part. They might be wanting a real practical, that's the how-to part. Or they might be wanting to kill some time on the bus, on the train, when they're exercising, and that's the entertainment. And it's a short attention span entertainment compared to cinema. So I think there's a big point of difference there. And it's really important for you guys to know this, because it means when you're publishing content to YouTube, you need to give your audience what they want. It needs to be relevant to the experience that they expect to get on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to understand this too, because we make bigger projects, documentaries, feature-length documentaries that do go in the cinema and video on demand. But those documentaries, we also make short films. and those short films live on YouTube. So we have a different way of producing the content for the short films on YouTube to the way we put together the feature documentary. So we're very aware of who the audience is and the ways that they would consume that content so that we can craft it the right way for the platforms we're producing for.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, cinema releases are going to be typically 1 to 3 hours in duration, whereas YouTube videos are typically going to be around 10 to 15 minutes or less.
Yeah. So hopefully that's helpful when you're crafting your own content. It really always just comes back to who's the audience, what type of project you're going to produce really is who's the audience that's actually going to consume that content. So you've always got to start there. And if you're having trouble figuring out who that audience might be, you could head over to the new online course we've created called Define Your Ideal Audience. And that's just over at the Moonshine Communications Academy, and we'll put all those links in the notes. But for today, we'd love it if you could subscribe to this channel because it helps us know that you're enjoying this content and that we can make more content which is relevant for you.